Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Last episode, we made it here to Flora-Roma Town and took down some galactic grunts in the Valley Windworks. And before we move on to Eterna City and the second gym, I want to actually talk to this man right here who will actually sell you some honey. And I will definitely buy 10 of those because there are some Pokemon that only spawn from the honey trees, namely Heracross and Burmy. And I think I actually already slathered this tree with honey, but I guess it's not quite ready to shake for us yet. I think you gotta wait 6 hours in-game, and you can't mess with the time in the system settings as much as I wish you could, because I want to get myself some of those Pokemon. So we just got a little bit more waiting to do. I also noticed that some of these berries already started growing, which is kind of interesting why that tree's not shaking. But perhaps the most interesting timed event of all that isn't quite working for us is at the Valley Windworks, where Drifloon is supposed to spawn. Back in the original Diamond and Pearl games, you could only find it on Fridays, and I'm pretty sure it should be the same here in Brilliant Diamond, but I mean, it's not there. So I'm curious if this is something wrong with just my game, or maybe it happened to you guys playing as well. Let me know in the comments if you saw Drifloon or not, or maybe if you played it like a little bit early on Thursday, or if you bought it on the Australian eShop like I did. You know, you could have gotten it technically on Thursday, but there's no Drifloon, so I have no idea what's going on with that. Maybe you gotta wait until a little bit later in the game. We'll come back and check up on that Drifloon, but you might have noticed I slathered all those other honey trees. We'll come back and check on those as well. And if you guys are excited for another episode, make sure to drop a like down below. And thank you again for all the support on the series so far. You guys have absolutely been killing it with the support and the comments and the love, and I appreciate it. Let's keep it going as we're taking on this camper here with, I believe, the first Ponyta that we've seen in the game. And also the first time we get to see Staravia in action, because it evolved at the very end of last episode. And if you missed that last one, you might be wondering why we even have a Staravia, because I didn't actually catch a Starly at the beginning of the playthrough, but I decided to actually catch one because, you know, a couple people told me to get it, and it feels kind of weird, honestly, not having a Starly on your Sinnoh team. Like, I know there's all those memes about the Sinnoh team, and then it's like the same every time. You know, you got Luxray, Staravia, Garchomp, and Infernape. Floatzel could be another one, which is actually a Pokemon you can find on this very route, but just did a little loop around the grass there and didn't find anything at all. So maybe the Pokemon are feeling a little shy right now, so we'll instead take on Hiker Daniel and his Geodude, which is not a great matchup for Staravia. Back to Vega, I guess, because this man's also got a Machop and another Geodude. Bro, how many Pokemon do you have? Too dang many is the answer, as his last one will be a Bidoof, which goes down tragically because it's off theme. What are you doing with the Bidoof, Mr. Hiker? I get the Geodudes and the Machops, but like, I mean, I guess Bidoof sort of fits. It does learn Rock Smash after all, as we found out last episode. You can actually summon a Bidoof at will with the Poketch. I don't think I've actually shown that off yet. Or well, we did technically, just we didn't use the Poketch itself to Rock Smash earlier. But yeah, you can do that, except there's no boulder. So we'll put that away, and I guess we could take on this girl here. I actually want to look for some new Pokemon in the grass on this route, like Floatzel, which I mentioned, or technically Buizel, you can find around here. And even though I might not use one on the team, I do at least want to catch one for Pokedex's sake. Might not take too long for us to do that, since this girl only had the one Budew. That's what I like to see, just nice and easy, quick battles, quick experience. And now we'll have our first encounter of the route. That's not what I was hoping for. What the heck, man? There's no Pokemon here right now. Is everybody asleep or what? Oh, finally! The Wild Buizel has appeared, which first came out in the Sinnoh region. I guess I'll try to... What the heck? Where is it looking? You guys see that? It was like sniffing around. I don't know what Buizel's looking for. Maybe the Pokeball that we're going to put it in just a second. We do got options now, though. Well, not very many. And I think a regular old Pokeball should probably work in these early routes still. So a 1, a 2, a 3, And the Tootsie Pop it is. Buizel has been caught. It's actually a pretty good nickname for it. I think I've had a Pokemon named Tootsie Pop before, or maybe just Tootsie. We'll just do Toots. It's funny to say, especially with like that New York accent. Hey Toots, you wanna get on this team for me? What do you guys think of my New York accent? It's not very good. I only lived in New York for like a year, so I didn't have too much time to develop it. Just a little known fact, actually. I did live in New York when I was in 5th grade, or maybe 6th. I can't quite remember. When do you start middle school in the US? I think it's 6th grade, so I know it was around the time when Pokemon Emerald first came out, which I think might have been 2004 or 5. So I must have been around 10 to 11 years old back then, living in New York as a kid. Not very fun. I honestly don't know how kids live in New York or how they get about. I feel like you would mature real quick on those streets. I'm making it sound a lot harsher than it really is. I mean, New York is really fun, but definitely more so as an adult, I can imagine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun there as a kid, but there was a lot of limits, like, at least I wouldn't really ride the subway on my own. I would ride the bus though, to middle school, I remember that, and it was kind of scary, man, like, as an 11-year-old even, riding the bus alone. I saw some pretty crazy stuff on their public transportation, but that kind of applies everywhere, like, even in Puerto Rico, when I was in high school, I would take the train and the bus to school too, and saw some interesting characters on that good old subway. Actually, the Puerto Rico one wasn't a subway. The Tren Urbano runs over, like in the air, not underground, which is what a subway is. Why am I explaining train systems right now? What was I even going on about? I don't know, but we fought most of the trainers in this route now and got Buizel, or Toots, a couple levels. Oh yeah, that's where it came from, the Toots. Gotta love that name, dude. It's gonna remind me of New York the whole way through this playthrough now. And there's a couple more Pokemon on this route that we can encounter for the first time in the game. Maybe we'll get one right here, as a Shellos appears. Don't want to accidentally kill it, and Vega actually doesn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it would. So Pokeball, go once again! Feel like all the Pokemon in these early routes you should be able to catch pretty easily, and it looks like I'm right, because Shellos is good to go. We just added Buizel to the team, so I really don't think I'm going to add this one to the party, but can read a little bit about it and notice that this is the West Sea variant of the Sea Slug, and you can also find an East Coast version that's the exact same, just with a New York accent. We're going to send that dude to the box though, and this definitely looks like a spot where a hidden item would be, and indeed there is an antidote, but also an item over here that it seems like I missed. Which reminds me, I gotta replant those berries real quick. I'm totally gonna forget to actually come back and harvest these, aren't I? I mean, we got plenty of game ahead of us, and I think those berries, after they grow, will stay there forever. So at some point, we'll definitely come back for them. Of all places, I've lost my way here. How can that even happen, bro? It's like a straight line to Eterna City. Hiker Nicholas, what are you doing? You on your way to a chimney? Isn't that Santa's name? Oh man, that was actually the best thing about New York, was Christmas time. Maybe because it was like my first time I ever saw snow in my life, and it actually made Christmas feel more real, like what you see in movies and stuff. Obviously, growing up in Puerto Rico, there ain't no snow anywhere on the island, as far as I know. So yeah, coming to New York and actually seeing snow the first time was pretty exciting. I remember me and my sister went to like the backyard of our school and did snow angels, you know, the whole starter kit for the first time you see snow. The only problem was afterwards my hands were freaking freezing, like I felt they were gonna fall off, and I put them in like hot water and they were blood red. That wasn't fun, but other than that, Christmas in New York, pretty nice. I think I remember we also went skating in the Rockefeller Center. Like I said, we did the whole starter pack for Christmas in New York. Next up though, we've got a Battle Girl. Okay, I mean, I definitely like the character model for this one. I'm surprised it actually survived that first wing attack, but it's alright. Just takes a little bit of extra time. I concede, you're in a different class. What, like, fighting class? Aren't those called belts? Or I guess that's just specifically for karate, or maybe taekwondo. I don't know actually, I've never done martial arts, but I feel like all of them might have the belt system. Only belt I know was the one that, oh god, can I talk about this on YouTube? Everybody knows about the belt growing up, right? Maybe you might know it as the chancla instead. I don't know what's going on with this playthrough. I've been in like a nostalgic mood. Maybe because it's like Sinnoh and I'm reliving my childhood low-key with this. Bringing me back a lot of memories, both bad and good. Mainly good, but the belt definitely was not that good. Anyway, this girl's got a Piplup. That's definitely way more interesting than whatever I'm talking about right now. Alright? How do you guys feel? Do you like my little story times, or should I focus a little more on the game? I guess because this playthrough is a little different, being a remake, I'm not as focused on commentating about the game itself. But obviously if something really important happens, I'll talk about it. Like Vega learning Endeavor, oh man, gotta talk about that. Kinda surprised that Buizel hasn't learned a water move yet. Or maybe it did and I wasn't paying attention. But we'll just keep it on the back of the party, let it gain a little bit more XP. And down here we're gonna find a super potion. And I believe there's a ledge back down, but we already explored everything. So before we head into Eterna Forest, definitely stop by the little rest house here. I believe this lady will let us take a nap on her bed. And as much as I wish that would advance time forward in the game, that's not how it works. It's a power nap. Little 5-minute snooze, I guess. So, now we're ready for Eterna Forest. Or, I guess there's one more. Oh, what? Are you not a trainer? Many poison Pokemon make Eterna Forest their home, but I didn't buy any antidotes. What should I do? I think we actually have a couple antidotes that we picked up along the road. I didn't actually buy them, so maybe you'll get lucky too and find some on the floor. Up there, as you may have noticed, there were some cut trees that we can't do nothing about. So into the forest we go, and here's a familiar face. It's Cheryl. And you are? Oh, so your name is Orange. I'm sincerely glad to meet ya. May I ask you a big favor? I want to get through this forest, but I'm afraid of doing it alone. I've heard that there's a sinister group of people called Team Galactic about. I think there'll be safety in numbers, you know? Please, may I go through with you? I'm always down for an escort. I mean, escorting Cheryl, of course. And she will actually heal up our Pokemon. Oh my god, did you guys see? What? She was like tripping for a second there. I gotta hit you with the instant replay because Cheryl was like tripping. Well, whatever. I'll do the instant replay because Cheryl was definitely tripping out, like glitching into the tree or something. And here's another antidote, just in case we do end up getting poisoned. What is going on with the characters there? We're just phasing right through each other. It looks kind of funny. But over here, we've got the Moss Rock, which of course can be used to evolve Eevee into Leafeon. However, Leafy, saying all the wrong names right now. Eevee cannot be found until the post-game, sadly. And suddenly we've been thrust into our first tag battle. Oh, I like that seal that Cheryl's got there. So when you have a partner with you, all wild Pokemon will show up in pairs. And here we've got Budew and Buneary. So if we actually want to catch that Buneary, you're going to need to knock out Budew first. Which thankfully we can do pretty easily with a wing attack. As long as Cheryl doesn't accidentally knock out the Buneary herself. That'd be pretty unfortunate. But I think, was that Baby Doll Eyes from Buneary or Chansey? Pretty sure it was Buneary, right? So please, Cheryl, just Life Dew? What? I thought that was like Jirachi's move. Well, not Jirachi, but another legendary gets Life Dew, doesn't it? Definitely not something I was expecting from Chansey is my point. As we've caught the Buneary. We're just getting stacks on stacks of Pokemon tonight. The rabbit Pokemon slams foes by sharply uncoiling its rolled ears. It stings enough to make a grown-up cry in pain. I thought that said a grown man. That would have been way more funny. Is this actually a male Buneary? I was gonna name it Lola. That's always the name I go for Bunnery, but I guess we'll go with Bugs instead. The OG bunny. This ain't no Bunnelby or Diggersby, though they're very similar. Both rabbits that use their ears for attacking. While Bunnery is more about the kicks, I feel, but the Pokédex entry definitely talked about its ears, so I guess there's that similarity. Anyway, here's our first real tag battle against trainers, I mean. Oh, come on. I'm starting to think this Chansey doesn't even have any attacking moves. Definitely hasn't... Oh, there it is finally. And it does about 2 damage. The synergy's just not quite there yet. But I can't blame Cheryl. I mean, we did just meet after all. So maybe after a couple more battles, she'll actually start helping out. I don't know, it could just be Chansey is not exactly the best attacking Pokemon. Definitely more on the supportive side. Which, speaking of, after every single battle, Cheryl will actually heal your Pokemon fully. Like their HP, status ailments, and everything. She's a walking Nurse Joy, you could say. But I've just realized Nurse Joy is a human. So maybe we'll call her like a walking Pokemon Center? What's up with these guys though? They be barefoot out here in the forest? Oh, you know these dudes are up to some sketchy stuff. Them psychics be tripping out, doing some elevated thinking. Hey, I'm not judging. It sounds like a good time. I'm down to join. Maybe that could be our little bonding exercise with Cheryl. She definitely looks like the type that would eat some shroomish, if you know what I'm saying. In the corner here, we've got a Great Ball. A little bit hidden behind some very blurry trees. I don't know how I feel about the blur on the screen, honestly. Like, it does look kind of cool, but at the same time, I feel that it's too much sometimes, and it just makes it look like the screen is dirty. Does that make sense? Like, when you've got a smudgy Nintendo Switch, sometimes the screen looks a little blurry. That's kind of the effect that I'm getting from these trees, and not the depth of field. Not sure how they could have fixed it, though. I mean, I guess it's serviceable, but it definitely looked better in a game like Link's Awakening Remix. Did I really just call it Remix? You know what I was trying to say, right? Remake, obviously. And I've just noticed one of these bug catchers has got a Burmy, which is going to get absolutely obliterated. And the other one's got Dustox. So 2 new Pokemon that we had not quite seen yet. But 2 Pokemon I definitely do not want to catch at all. And Major C finally learning Sing, living up to its Pokédex entry, talking about how it strums and does songs or whatever. Dustox going for Confusion. We'll take that easily. And Vega somehow getting to the highest level on our team. Well, almost there, catching up to Grottle in just like 2 episodes, dude. That's how crazy the EXP share be in these games. And you can't turn it off, of course, which I know a lot of people were complaining about before the games came out. But I've kind of learned to deal with it in my own way, which is what we're kind of doing in this playthrough. Just having a bunch of different Pokemon that we switch in and out of the team. Like Friend got swapped for Buizel, and now we're training Toots. But that doesn't necessarily mean Buizel's gonna stay on our team forever, you know? Basically, I'm gonna have a rotating party. So there will be some staples, like at the end of the playthrough, we're definitely gonna have a solid 6. But right now, I'm still not sure which of these Pokemon are actually gonna make it to that final team. I know who's not making it, though. It's that Cascoon. You better call up that roaming Nurse Joy. Oh wait, that's Cheryl. She'll offer her services for a price for you 2 little bug catchers. You gotta pay the premium, you know? Not quite old enough for Cheryl's services yet. Oh, what's wrong with me, dude? I'm having way too much fun with this playthrough, honestly. But in a good way. Like, I don't know. I remember reading a comment saying, this man must be in like some kind of mood with all these jokes or something. And it's true. I'm definitely in a good mood just playing these games, cracking jokes and telling all my stories, which is very refreshing. I feel like I haven't had a playthrough like this in a while where I can just let loose. I'm making it sound like I don't have fun with my other playthroughs, but that's not necessarily true. I guess I just mean like they're usually a little more strict. It's not really the playthrough though, it's just me that has been kind of strict on myself with YouTube and trying to make these playthroughs fit kind of like a certain mold or be for a certain audience, but trying to be just more myself. Just make the jokes that I want to make. Say all the wild things that pop in my head on a regular basis. But at the same time, I gotta hold myself back because you don't want to hear all the things I would say about Cheryl. Like how nice and caring she is, and how that green hair puts me in a trance. Is that really all the trainers in Eterna Forest already? What the heck? We already got the old chateau over here, which is where you can find Rotom, but I don't think you can quite get it until the post-game in the Diamond and Pearl remakes, which is kind of a bummer. And what the frick, dude? Why are we really not running into any wild Pokemon? What is this? Just running laps around Cheryl. It looks kind of funny until you phase inside of her for a second. Okay, time to dip. Oh, there's the exit. I'm so relieved we finally got here. I would have never been able to get through this by myself. Thank you so much, Orange. As a reward, I'll give you nothing, because that's just how the people in this region are. They just leave you hanging. Kind of sad. But now we're back on Route 205, which is actually technically the same route as we were on earlier, and that means we can find Pachirisu in here. That's not Pachirisu though, that's... There it is! Finally! I was starting to think it doesn't pop up at nighttime or something, because that took way too many encounters, but Pachirisu is indeed here in Route 205, first time that you can catch one of these, and I really hope the quick attack doesn't kill it now that we've gotten so many levels on Vega back in that forest, but still, yeah, we don't do even close to enough to one-shot it, but it's probably enough to catch it. Only one way to find out, right? 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 Hey! Just gotta intimidate the Pokeball. Doesn't fail. Catch him every time. Pachirisu's data is added in as the Ellis Squirrel Pokemon. I've always found that as one of like the weirdest species names ever, because it's like a portmanteau, which might as well be the word of the day. Except I actually know the definition of that one. It's two words put into one, so electric squirrel becomes Ellis Squirrel. Now, we've already got Luxio, so not really trying to add another electric type to the team. And I will grab all those berries, but honestly, to save us some time, I'll wait until later after the episode. But there's actually another Pokemon I wanted to get back in the forest that I seem to have forgotten about. You might remember I was saying that I didn't want to catch Starly because I had another flying type in mind, and it's actually a Brilliant Diamond exclusive and also exclusively found at nighttime, so it's a good thing we're recording this episode at night. I know it's definitely not Budew and also not Silcoon, but it's interesting that you can find that here. I think that might be another version exclusive, Cascoon and Silcoon, but of course you can find Wurmple in both, so technically it's not exclusive, but this guy definitely is. Wild Murkrow has appeared. Very nice. Maybe I shouldn't have Zip out though. Oh wait, we do have Bite, which I think is not very effective since Murkrow is of course a dark and flying type and has a really awesome evolution first introduced in Sinnoh. So I actually wanted to use this on my final team potentially, until I found out that you don't get the Dusk Stone that you need to evolve it in this game until pretty dang late. So now I'm not so certain if I want to use Murkrow, but we'll definitely catch it and show off that version exclusive. As once again, the Pokeballs just don't miss today. First try, every time. Murkrow has been caught. And that is the Darkness Pokemon, that's it. It's believed that seeing this will bring an ominous occurrence. I'm gonna name you after the dude from My Hero, who's Tokoyami, but I feel like Toko is a much cuter name and way easier to say. And I kind of want to add it onto the team, maybe just temporarily. I don't want to use Jirachi actually. I don't even know why I've been leveling it up this whole time. So Wishmaker, you're going into the PC. I mean, I like Jirachi. In fact, I love Jirachi. It's one of my favorite mythical Pokemon, but it's a little bit too strong for using in a regular playthrough. Well, right now it's at level 15, so it ain't really all that crazy, but here we are in Eterna City. History living. Oh man, that tune. It's bringing back so many memories. It feels great riding a bike with the wind in your face, doesn't it? Haven't really ever rode a bike. I mean, in the game. Obviously, in real life, I have. Had plenty of experiences with bikes, which I might just tell you about in the next episode when I actually get the bike. But carry on, says the grunt. So carry on we shall. They say this is an old city. Don't look it though, not with all these tall buildings. I feel like that's happening all over the world. Like everywhere is slowly getting a little more modern. Don't actually remember the specifics in Eterna though, like where we can get items, which buildings, so I might freshen up on that for the next episode. And for now, focus on the main attraction here, which is of course the Eterna City Pokemon Gym, and the leader here, Gardenia, is the master of vivid plant Pokemon. I feel like we're honestly ready to take her on, since we've got Staravia, and now we've also caught Murkrow. But if you really need some extra help with taking down the Grass Master, definitely visit the underground, I mean. It's called the Grand Underground now, so I guess you could call it the Underground for short. That's a portmanteau for ya. Anyway, you can find a bunch of fire Pokemon down there, or I shouldn't say a bunch, actually. There's only like 2 or 3 if you're playing Shining Pearl, because you can get Magby. So if you picked Piplup and think you might struggle against the Grass Gym Leader, I definitely recommend heading down to the underground first and catching a fire Pokemon. Although the levels at this point are pretty crazy, so it might be hard to actually catch anything. Oh, what the frick? I just talked to this girl completely by accident, and apparently she gives us a Pokechap. Huh, maybe I should talk to the people in the Pokemon centers more often. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. Let's scroll through. Number 6, we got the friendship checker. Does anybody love me yet? No? I mean, we did just start our playthrough, so I don't expect anything too crazy. But since we've actually got Starly, I feel like we can probably take on the Eterna Gym right now and probably be okay. So we're gonna do just that. Make this a extra length episode as we step inside to take on Gardenia. Oh, what the heck? I was okay. Champ to be. Actually, that's what I said to some boy here earlier. Must be butt. Should be obvious, but grass Pokemon really hate fire. Oh, wait a second, I should tell you about the gym itself. You can't challenge the leader until you find and beat all the trainers. Oh, I thought there was going to be some other kind of crazy challenge we got to do first, like the Team Galactic building, but I'm pretty sure we should be able to take on Gardenia right now. Or well, after you've beaten all the other trainers, that is. I'll be waiting for you in the back. Good luck, challenger! And like every other character, she's gonna leave us. This is what I was waiting for though. That nice panoramic shot of the full gym where you could have caught a glimpse, or probably did catch a glimpse, of the first trainer hiding in the trees. Oh, I actually completely missed her. She's back here. But first, I think I'm gonna switch Toko up first. Even though it's only at level 10, but as long as it has some kind of flying move. Okay, we got better special attacks, so I should probably go for Gust instead of that, Peck. How did you know where to find me? I mean, it's not like you're wearing camouflage or anything. You're just standing in the middle of some trees. Like, what, do you think you're John Cena or something? This girl be tripping. Maybe all the gym trainers here might be tripping. I feel that's a common trope with these grass-type trainers. They be rolling up the grass and maybe eating some bad berries like Cherubi. Look at that dude in the back. Like, he's definitely high as heck right now. And even though I said earlier that I should use Gust and not Peck, I totally forgot to the first battle or turn. You're really going for Morning Sun? Okay. I mean, wow, that actually healed a lot more than I thought. Come on, Toko, you can do this, dude. You're only at level 10 and this thing is 5 levels ahead of you, but I believe in you. Now you're going for Sunny Day? Really? Trying to get that vitamin D, it's not gonna help you survive the pecking that's coming. Yummy, yum, 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 is what Murkrow's probably saying right now, since it totally pecked the heck out of that Cherubi. Wonder what that would taste like, honestly. A Cherubi smoothie don't sound too bad. Looks like Toots is finally learning a water move. Definitely gonna help us in this grass gym, yes sir. Water moves, very, very good against grass Pokemon, obviously. No sarcasm at all here, guys. But her second Pokemon is going to be a Roselia, and Toko kicking things off with a nice critical hit. Thankfully, we dodged out on the paralysis there, because that could have been real annoying. But the Gust the second time around, actually, not going to do nearly as much. Probably because we didn't crit. But that makes me wonder if Murkrow maybe has the Super Luck ability, which raises crit chance. I don't know, but one more Gust will definitely finish it. And this Roselia, since it's more evolved, should give way more experience. Maybe even have Toko hit level 13. Oh my gosh. Lucky or unlucky? Not actually sure how the superstition works on that one. I think maybe number 7 is lucky and 13 is the unlucky one, but then again, that changes culture to culture. Like, I think in Japan, the number 4 is considered bad, and maybe in like China too, or just Asia in general, because it means death or something. I don't know. Numbers and superstitions in general are kind of weird. Like that whole thing about not opening an umbrella inside, never really gotten it. What the heck, dude? I actually can't find the next trainer in this gym. Oh, for some reason I thought we couldn't go past these rocks earlier, but you totally can. And my grass-type Pokemon can dole out some serious special attacks. Do you mean special attacks like it uses that stat? Or something actually special, Aroma Lady? Okay, there's no way there's anything that special about Budew. Like, come on. Oh, no! Budew gave us a little parting gift right before descending into the grave. We get poisoned. That's not fun. Hey, what? You have another... What? Wait, what? I saw my HP go up and then back down, but maybe it could have been because of the level up. And you really have a third one? I just noticed something kind of crazy. Keep an eye on the lights in the back as I use Gust. For some reason, they all turn off for a little bit. Maybe it's because Toko is literally darkness itself. Man shuts off all the lights just when he attacks. Okay, that's obviously not it. There's some kind of glitch going on with the game or something, but that's right, a hint about the next trainer in the middle of 3 trees. Wow, what a great hint. Not like there's like a million trees in this gym. Wait, it's not this, right? We already fought this girl. Yeah, it's gotta be on this side. Oh wait, there's 3 trees right there that clearly stand out. And I see a shoe between them. But first, let's heal up Toko. We actually got 4 antidotes. I don't even remember picking up that many, but here's the next Aroma Lady. And hopefully she's got a little bit more variety. Angela, please don't have another Budew. I swear, dude. Oh, Turtwig, actually. Okay. Definitely like that a little bit more. It's the starter that we picked, so we are pretty familiar with it at this point. But it's kind of cool that we actually fought a Piplup and now a Turtwig in the same episode. Oh my god, what the... What even attack was that, bro? And I really survived with 1 health? Just out of nowhere? You'd think that's like the friendship or something, like Murkrow toughed it out because he loves us so much, but I'm pretty sure that was just straight up luck. The fact that we lived that low. And we hit level 15, which means we're learning Wing Attack. Alright. Maybe now we can actually start one-shotting some of the Pokemon in here. Or we could actually use Vega, our much higher level flying type. But I'm trying to make a point that this gym is really not too difficult, considering we're using a Murkrow that we just picked up literally in the forest right before. And I hadn't even trained it at all. It's like level 10. But I think this should be the last trainer. However, Toko obviously took a little bit more of a beating there, so back to full HP, and you found me! Of course I'll battle you! Sorry, that giggle wasn't cute at all from me. But Beauty Lindsay, how about you show me everything tonight? I can see why they call her Beauty, but oh man, still can't quite one-shot even with the wing attack, but it definitely did a lot more damage than we were doing with like the Peck earlier, and with the Gust, because I think Gust also has a pretty low power. But since this Roselia is so low, we'll finish it off with a little bit of disrespect. And is that it for Miss Lindsay? Because I don't think I can handle anymore. Toko's now the same level as Toots. Caught up real quick, man. That's kind of crazy. Like, the EXP share, I think I started talking about earlier how I don't think it's that bad, but now I'm starting to rethink. Like, we really just caught this Murkrow right before the gym, and it's already at 16 versus Toots, which hasn't been in any battles at all, so never mind. I don't know really what point I'm trying to make. The real point, Gardenia is ready. Nice little mural of some clouds there. I knew y'all be getting high up in this gym. You've kept me waiting. I'm Eterna's gym leader, Gardenia, the grass-type master. When I first saw you, I was convinced you'd find your way to me. My hunch was right on the money. You have a winning aura about you. So anyway, this'll be fun. Let's battle! Yeah! OG transition coming in. And Gardenia looking just as good as I remember from the OG games. Oh dang, she looking even better with the twirl and everything. I actually remember that from the trailer, and I'm pretty sure I pointed out the same thing. Like, the twirl, dude, gets me every time. But her first Pokemon is going to be a Cherubi, which is not quite going to get one-shot by the... Oh my god, why do you have Dazzling? Oh! Toko! Again, living with 1 health? What is this luck, bro? That's gotta be some shenanigans going on. Maybe it's the superstition I talked about earlier. I don't know, but that's twice now that Toko has lived on 1 health. No Sturdy, no Focus Sash or Friendship to tough it out or anything. That's just pure power right there. But we're definitely gonna switch it out for this upcoming Turtwig. Let's bring out the real MVP of flying types on our team. And little Turtwig here is gonna be at level 19. Hit that Intimidate, get the attack down. Might have actually been a good idea to not bring out Vega just yet, because I don't think now we can't get Intimidate on her Roserade, which is of course her last Pokemon. And Turtwig has Reflect, really? Oh man, okay Gardenia, I see you with the strategies out here. That's actually going to raise the defense for all of her Pokemon for the next 5 turns, including her Ace Roserade. So our Wing Attacks and Plucks aren't going to do nearly as much damage as they were before. Let's test it out with the Wing Attack actually, and yeah, as you can see, leaving it at the red HP. So that's not good. I'm actually thinking I might switch here real quick, just so we can get off that Intimidate against Roserade later. Even though Roserade doesn't even really use physical moves, so the attack drop from Intimidate doesn't really matter all that much. But, you know, just to actually use Major C for once, hit that Fury Cutter, swipe it, Turtwig left. You're not a match for me, buddy. I mean, Gardenia in general is no match for us right now, it seems. But yeah, here comes her last Pokemon, and thankfully the Reflect wore off. Has it really been 5 turns already? Definitely doesn't feel like it. But you know what they say about having fun and time. It's not the end yet! Oh, you say so, but I'm not so sure. I mean, Roserade is pretty dang strong though. A fully evolved Pokemon at the 2nd gym is kinda crazy, but even more crazy is the fact that I forgot to use Pluck, even though I mentioned before we started that this thing does have a Citrus Berry, so we definitely should have gone for Pluck instead, and probably would have one-shot it. Now, it actually gets to heal back up, which is kind of unfortunate. That's 2 gyms in a row now where I've forgotten to use Pluck. Or wait, it wasn't against the gym, it was against the Per Ugly in the last episode that we didn't get to use Pluck either. But that was because we got faked out. And either way, the Wing Attack we'll finish off Roserade. Look at all those levels, man. Bonsai, Vega 22, Major C. You did your best, dude. I feel like I haven't used it nearly as much as I wanted to, but at the same time, I mean, it's Kricketune. Like, who really uses Kricketune? I can think of one Poketuber that actually does, but you're very good, aren't you? Amazing! What is that clap like? I might have said it before, but you're really tough. Wasn't it hard for you to raise your Pokemon to be so good? I mean, not exactly. We caught Toko like minutes before stepping in here. To be fair, we did do some pretty good training against the gym trainers specifically, so our forest badge, I would say, is well earned, and we can now use the hidden move Cut outside of battle. Now you got 2 badges, all Pokemon received in trades will obey. And something else. Stickers! Yay! What about that TM though? Oh, there we go. Thought she forgot. But I'm pretty sure this should be Grass Knot, one of my favorite moves. And one of mine too, actually. Maybe Gardenia and I have more alike than I thought. But that's gonna do it for this episode. Actually, I want to talk to her one more time just to see if there's one more thing she can tell us about. You and your Pokemon are gonna get even tougher, and I mean seriously. Well, I'm seriously looking forward to that and the whole rest of this series. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode coming up, maybe later today, if I can get the editing done quickly, that is. So I'll see you then.